Okay, so here we go. Riverside are batting first. Diamond Creek are fielding first. Okay, here's ball one. And left alone. So, when you have a look at the performances of the Diamond Creek 2 team so far this season, it's very mixed. Some of the batsmen have really struggled, failing to score double figures. As he comes into bowl. And well, leg glanced, and they're going to take a quick single. And they decide against it. Well, that would have been mad. So it's really interesting because some players like Max Trainer and Robert Pearce have had a great, and Stephen Farah have had a great start to the season, while other people like Dwyer and Gaunt have had a very, very quiet start to the season. And oh, I'm not sure if that was an edge or not. It seemed like it was a bump ball, but well covered there by the fielder at slip. Okay, comes into bowl, and down the leg side hits the pad, another dot ball. So let's have a look at the field now. First slip, second slip, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, square leg. There are only 8 fielders. As he comes into bowl. And well defended there. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the offside, and then 3 on the leg side, which makes 8. So I don't know where the comes into bowl, and it gets through the backward point region, and the fielder has to chase it down to the deep backward point area, and just before the goal posts. And they get good runs there. End of the over. Okay, so we've got the second over. This one is from the river end. And this is Ramsey. So, an orthodox start with David Ramsey and Pearce opening the bowling. Ramsey into bowl. And it was short, wide, cut, but fielded there at point. So, for Ramsey, we have first slip, second slip, backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, and then mid-wicket. Ramsey into bowl. And it's a short and wide, and it's cut again, and this time the fielder at cover picks it up. So Ramsey has so far bowled a couple of short, wide ones, and the batsman was up for the challenge because he did play the cut shot, not leaving it alone. Ramsey into bowl, and it's cut short, wide, and it's cut again, and this time there is a gap in the forward point region, which they get 1 run for. So Robert Pearce was the opening bowler at the childcare end, and now we've got David Ramsey at the river end. and left alone there. So, over the course of the last hour or so, the wind has picked up. It's now much stronger. There's much more cloud coverage. The sun has gone under some clouds. It's still just as warm. Ramsey into bowl. And it's an aggressive drive, airish, but straight to mid-off for a dot ball. End of the over. Okay, so Pierce is to continue bowling from the childcare centre end. Right arm, medium fast. And well defended there. And it's short, and it's pulled, and it goes over the heads of the fielders at mid-wicket and square leg, and it's going down to the mid-wicket boundary, and it's 4 runs. Very aggressive hook shot there. He got into position. He went through with the full hook shot, allowing his arms to swing right through the line of the ball. So he backed himself to play the shot properly. He didn't second guess, and he was rewarded by actually getting a boundary there, even though it's a very, very long boundary in the square of the wicket here at Marngrook Oval. So 4 runs, the first boundary for Riverside. And it's leg glanced, but it's a dot ball. So, Pierce into bowl, and it's full at the about middle stump, and it was blocked for a dot ball. So, I think Pierce has had a much better start to his spell. He seems to be much more getting his length and line on the mark. Pierce into bowl, and it's down the leg side, and they're going to steal some runs, and because the fielder at square leg has to go chase it, and they just get the 1. So with no one at square leg, anything that's on the pads or a middle leg stump-ish will just go for runs, because as long as the batsmen are able to play a good leg glance. So, Pierce into bowl. Oh! Tried to step across, and dot ball there. End of the over. So Ramsey is to continue to bowl, right arm medium fast at the river end. And it's left alone this time. I still believe that the slip fielders are a little too close. I think first slip especially is standing too close to the keeper, and because of that, second slip is too close. I think a foot to their right could be and a nice full ball by Ramsey, and it's chopped down for a dot ball. Yeah, I'm in favour of more wide slip positions. I think that gives you much more advantage than having narrower. So Ramsey into bowl, and it's full and it's driven, dot ball. Ramsey into bowl, and it's short and it's cut, and it's through that extra point region, and they're going to get 2 there. 2 runs there, very well played. This batsman with the green cap is playing the cut shot really well. He gets into position very quickly. He identifies the short ball immediately, and he's able to hit it away. And with that gap there in the point region, it's just lots of runs. Rams into bowl, and it's blocked, and they're thinking of a quick single, but it goes straight to the fielder at backward point, so they don't go for it. So far, the Riverside batsmen have been very aggressive, trying to find ways of getting runs immediately, not being afraid of trying to intimidate the fielders by looking for quick singles. Ramsey into bowl, and defended again, and again a loud yelling of no, as if they were really thinking about taking the run. So that's the end of the over. So we haven't seen a lot from this batsman with the yellow cap, so we're going to have to see just what he is capable of. And he leg glances it down to fine leg, and once again there's no fine leg fielder, so the fielder at square leg has to chase it down. And again they only get one run, even though it was quite a long chase for the fielder. So far the yellow cap batsman has looked to play it on the leg side, trying to shift over towards his off stump in order to play it onto the leg side, while this batsman with the green hat has been more of an offside player, as Pearce into bowl. And it's cut again, and it goes through the same gap, and the backward point fielder has to chase it down, and they're going to go for the two, and they get two there. So more runs for Riverside. An excellent start to their innings. They have looked very confident, they have looked very assured, they have not felt uneased by the situation. Pearce into bowl, and defended. Pearce into bowl, and it's short, again it's cut, and it beats the fielder at slip, and they'll steal a single as the fielder at point has to chase it down. So another run there. Wait. Already after, this is the 5th over, and this batsman has played several cut shots, so obviously there has to be some sort of way of stopping him, and the second slip fielder is gone. Pearce into bowl, and it's a wild shot there. He thought that was his ball, but it was not the right one. I'm afraid Pearce's balls tend to skid on, which means even though you think it's short enough, you find that it doesn't bounce as much as you're expecting, and just like that, missed the under edge. Pearce into bowl, and left alone there. End of the over. It is none for 15. Ramsey into bowl, and another block shot, another forward thinking about a quick single but going against it. This green cap batsman is definitely trying to see where the quick singles can be found on the offside. Ramsey into bowl, and it's driven off the half volley, and it pierces the gap. 3 fielders are chasing after it, and they're going to come back for 2, and they get the 2 runs there. So very well hit. It's not easy to play a cover drive shot when you have 3 fielders in the covers there, but that batsman was able to make it. Ramsey into bowl, and it's attempted to play a pushy block, but in the end hit the pads. So the fielder at mid-wicket has gone out and gone into a cover point area. So there's 2 points, a backward point and a cover point, and then an extra cover, then a mid-off. So 4 in the covers in front of square on the offside. Ramsey into bowl, and it's defended again. And so on the leg side there is just a mid-on and a square leg. Ramsey into bowl. And it's a pull shot, and it going over the head of the square leg fielder. He has to chase it down, and it's going right down to the boundary. They're going to collect it up, and they're going to go for the third, and they do. 3 runs there. Very well played shot. So, by having the extra fielder on the offside and having just 2 fielders on the leg side, and if they decided to make the change, so the fielder at backward point has moved over to a mid-wicket, and so the change that David Ramsey brought into his field has now left, and so it returns to the original field that it was at the start of the game. Ramsey's not sure what to do here. Ramsey into bowl and defended. And that's the end of the over. It's none for 20. Okay, so this is the 7th over. Pearce is going to be continuing from the childcare centre end. It's been a very handsome start so far for the Riverside team. They've looked very much in control of the situation. Pearce into bowl and blocked. Picked up there in the covers for a dot ball. So, what will the captain Ramsey decide to do here? He's got to think of a way of Pearce into bowl, and it's short and it's wide and it's wide. So, for Pearce, there is just the 1 slip, then there is a backward point, a cover, mid-off, mid-on, a squarish mid-wicket, and then a square leg. As Pearce comes into bowl, and it's late cut, and it beats the gap between the orthodox point and the backward point, so the point fielder has to chase it down. No one else is helping him, and so they get 2 runs there. Very well played. Once again, this batsman is just getting into position to play that cut shot immediately without even a second thought, and he's willing to play the shot even though it's a new ball. Pearce into bowl, and it's late cut again, and this time the diving fielder at backward point, or maybe even a gully, has saved it. Although he is more of a backward point than a gully, so well saved there. So, Pearce into bowl, and it's driven off the half volley, and the fielder at point has to chase it down through the cover region, and they will come back for 2, and he throws it in, and once again it's a relayed throw, and they get 2 more. This looks very troubling for Diamond Creek too, because it's not so much the amount of runs that are being scored, but the way that the runs are being scored. The fact that the Riverside team are just playing deft shots, very comfortable shots, very calm shots. They seem to be very much in control of what they're doing. Pearce into bowl, and well defended. There just doesn't seem to be anything that was going to shock the Riverside batsmen. They seem to be pretty much calm and comfortable with what they're doing, and they're just going to go about their business. And what will it take to shake them out of their system? Pearce into bowl, and it's a aggressive cover drive, and the fielder at mid-off has to chase it down, and he does chase it down just before the boundary, and they get 2 more. So 7 runs from that. 3 twos and a wide. It is none for 27. So this is the 8th over, so we've had 4 overs from Pearce at the childcare centre end, and now this will be Ramsey's 4th over from the river end. And Ramsey messes up the steps in his run-up and he has to bail out. So, 2 slips. Again, first slip is too close to the keeper. Then point has moved about 10 meters back or 5 meters back. Same with cover and same with mid-on. And well defended there. So now, point is much farther back. Cover is much farther back. And mid-off is much farther back. As Ramsey into bowl. And it's aggressively hit and it goes over the head of the bowler and the fielder at mid-off has to chase it down and it's going to go to the short boundary, but he picks it up just before the rope and they only get the 1 run. They decide not to take on the arm, which is normally what you do, a second run on the arm. So another aggressive shot. Now the batsman with the yellow cap seems to be much more playing on in impulse of see ball, hit ball. So he's most likely to make a mistake here. Ramsey into bowl. And it's well defended there. Now the wind is still blowing. The sky is much more covered in clouds. The sun is much more beating down on us. So the weather is evolving over time. As Ramsey into bowl. And left alone there. So they've moved the fielder over to the offside, so there's 2 points again, and there's no fielder at mid-wicket. Ramsey into bowl. And defended there through the backward point region. They think about a single, but they decide not to go for it. So there has to be more to tactics than either switching over between having a second point fielder and then having a mid-wicket fielder. What other changes could David Ramsey bring into the field to try to upset the batsman? Ramsey into bowl. Left alone. And that's the end of the over. It is none for 28. Okay, so Pearce is to continue to bowl, and a bit of a change up mid-on is a little further back, about 5 or 10 metres back. Pearce into bowl. And down to fine leg, and the fielder at square leg is trying to chase it down. And 4 runs there. Wow. The batsman loves that whippy shot. The ball, when the ball gets onto his pads, he loves to have this very aggressive and very exaggerated swipey shot. And so far it has brought him runs because he's gotten 4 more here. Pearce into bowl, and it's leg glance, but it's straight to the fielder at square leg, so dot ball. And so mid-on, like I said, mid-off is a bit further back for some sort of aggressive drive. As Pearce into bowl. And it's again leg glanced, and again down to fine leg, which is unoccupied, and they come back, they're going to go back for 2, and it's fielded just before the football change rooms, the football dugout. 2 runs there. And so this is a very troubling situation where every time there is a gap in the field, the batsmen are immediately able to take advantage of it. The batsmen are so in control of their game that they can just pick what part of the ground to hit the ball in. Very, very troubling for Diamond Creek. Pearce into bowl. And it's pulled, but it's very late on that one. Oh, naturally early. He played the ball way too early, and the ball just, he'd already swung through the ball by the time, it hit him on his torso. So, ball not coming on as fast as he can. So he's beaten both slow and fast, has this batsman trying to play the full shot off Pearce. Pierce into bowl. And it's attempted to leg glance it, but again it goes to square leg. So another dot ball. This batsman is just shifting across the crease, trying to work it onto the leg side, trying to get into that, that fine leg gap region. And mid-off is going back. Pierce into bowl. And it's down the leg side, tried to play the leg glance. Stepped so far inside it that his leg stump was exposed, but it doesn't hit it. So, end of the over, it's none for 34. So Ramsey is to continue to bowl from the river end. And left alone outside the off stump, the batsman stepping into the line of the ball, but then shifting his bat behind his body to leave it alone. So once again, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fielders on the offside and just 2 on the leg side. Ramsey into bowl, and it's bowled the bad ball. It was a full toss on leg stump. Batsman swipes it over the head of square leg, and square leg has to run down to the boundary, and that's 2 runs there. When you have only 2 fielders on the leg side, you do not bowl a full toss at leg stump. The batsman taking advantage of it by hitting the ball in the air over the head of square leg. Ramsey into bowl. And defended. Ramsey into bowl. And it's late cut, and it goes through the gap, and there's a misfield. The fielder at extra point, seemed to have covered it, but he spilt it, and so 1 run there. So this batsman playing another late cut, another amazing cut shot, just getting into position so quickly and playing it with such calmness. He seems completely in control of the situation. Ramsey into bowl. And oh, it's a full ball, but tried to play it onto the leg side, but unable to, and it's a dot ball onto the offside. Now this batsman, this yellow cap batsman, doesn't seem to have a lot of patience. He loves to play the big swiping shot. So if you get a few dot balls at him, maybe, and it's defended, maybe build up some pressure. Anyway, it's none for 37. Okay, so this is the 11th over now of the Riverside innings. They've batted for an hour and a quarter. Pierce to continue. And it's defended. So we've had so the time is now 1:30. So we've had the bowling rate has been very good. Very good stuff from Diamond Creek too. Into bowl, and it's late cut, and it's straight to the fielder at point, and they throw it in, and unable to stop the run. So the fielder at point is much further back than the other fielders on the offside, as you can see. And now he's moving up because of the other batsman. So that's why they were able to take a run, were the Riverside batsmen, by just playing a late cut shot straight to the fielder at point. Pierce into bowl, and it's a wild shot. tried to plant his front foot in order to build up his body weight to launch, and then had a huge swipe, thick inside edge onto his pads, into his probably his thigh areas. So this batsman, loving those big shots, not patient enough to wait for the right ball, just wants to play the shots. Pearce into bowl, and it's a full toss. Luckily there was no run off that. So of all the batsmen, of the two batsmen that are opening the batting, clearly the yellow cap batsman is the much more vulnerable one, much more likely to make a mistake. Pearce into bowl, and it's a wild shot, but hits the pad, and probably would have been out, but given not out. Pearce into bowl, and whoa, great shot, great ball, the Yorker, and he had to chop it down. So a good over there for Diamond Creek, just the one run off it. It is none for 38. So give me Ramsey continuing to bowl from the river end. Full toss, driven, but hit straight, hit down to the ground, and the bowler Ramsey cut it off before it could get to the mid-on fielder. Okay, so Ramsey into bowl, and it hits the pads, and not out. That looked pretty much out. Hit him in front of off stump. The ball would have kept trailing and probably hit middle and off, but in this grade of cricket, LBWs are hard to come by. Ramsey into bowl, and it's driven straight to mid-off, dot ball. So we know from what we saw last round, where Lower Plenty were none for 60, and then so they Ramsey into bowl, and it's blocked straight to fielder at cover, dot ball. So after getting bowled out for 43 in the first innings, Diamond Creek were then bowling against Lower Plenty, and Lower Plenty were none for 60. So they had taken first innings points, they had a small lead, and there were no wicket down, half century opening partnership. Ramsey into bowl. That's late cut, and it's a diving attempt by the fielder at extra cover, cover point, and they just get the one run there. But then everything was turned around after that for Diamond Creek 2 with the ball, where they were able to take a number of wickets. They were able to reduce the scoring rate, and in the end it was about 8 for 80 after being none for 60, ending up declaring Ramsey into bowl and defended. End of the over. It's none for 39. So Pearce is to continue to bowl from the childcare centre end. Very substantial opening spells for both these two, both Pearce and Ramsey. Pearce into bowl, and ooh, a little bit of a leading edge. It tries to block it. It was nice and full. But so the batsman not able to play as comfortably as he would have liked. He tries to play that little pushy block shot to try to get a quick single into the covers, and sometimes he makes a mistake where he plays the wrong line. Pearce into bowl, and it's a top edge, and the fielder of both the wicketkeeper and square leg chase it down, but unable to take the catch. One run there. So I think that's probably the biggest weakness for the green cap batsman, where he plays this forward blocking shot, but he doesn't play the ball where the ball is. He plays the ball where he wants the ball to be so he can get a quick single. And so sometimes he'll misjudge the length and line, and it'll be inside edge or leading edge, or he'll hit the pads. Pierce into bowl, and it's a wonderful glance off the toes. That is 4 runs. So the other shots that the green-capped batsman plays, much more he tries to watch the ball very carefully and play the exact right shot. But it's for those block shots that he actually doesn't pay attention to the ball as clearly as he does otherwise, and he sometimes hits through the wrong length and line. A much more defensive field. Pierce into bowl. And it's a wild shot, and it's right in front of the stumps. So, fine leg has moved to a deepish fine leg, about 10 metres off the fence. Mid off is about 20 metres off the fence. And now there's a square leg fielder who is about, going right back about 30 metres off the fence on the square leg boundary. Now there's a big gap at point. Pierce into bowl. And that's 4. Well, that was an amazing shot. He noticed it was up short. He got into position. He was able to create the full arc of the huge swipe shot and just send the ball over the head of the mid-on fielder down to the mid-on boundary for 4. So 2 4s in 3 balls for this batsman. Pierce into bowl. Left alone. Good over there for Riverside. It is now 48 for none. Okay, so after a 6-over opening spell for David Ramsey, we've seen the first change for the Diamond Creek 2 bowlers. We have Stephen Farah, left arm medium from the river end. And it's late cut, and it's over the head of the 2 fielders at point. One of them makes a diving attempt, the other one chases the ball down, and they're going to get 2. And they do. Interesting shot there. Once again, Farah bowling unable to get the right length and line. Short, and instead of playing the late cut, did the green cap batsman, instead he tried to hit it in the air, and if he had have mishit it a bit more, it would have been out. Spooning it to point. And David Ramsey's calling the shots here. The fielder at second slip is out. So here we go, Stephen Farah. And on the pads, and it's a block shot. And the fielder that was put out to mid-wicket is the one who collects it in. So, slip, point, backward point, cover point, Farah into bowl, and it's down the leg side, and the fine leg fielder is 2 in, and they're going to have to 4 more. Once again, having a fine leg fielder not on the fence is costing you extra runs. Because unless you're facing a real medium pacer who just have no pace on the ball, the best thing to do when you have a fine leg is to put him on the fence, because it's going to cost you more runs than you're going to save. Farah into bowl, and used the pad to defend there. And it went down to the keeper. So, slip, backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, a very squarish mid-wicket, and then a short fine leg. Farah into bowl. And left alone outside the off stump. When Farah is able to get his length right, particularly, his line is less important than his length. Because he's a medium pacer, he can't really afford to either bowl it full as a full toss or a short ball. He just doesn't have enough pace on it. And whoa! That was a good ball. It seemed to be the ball that doesn't swing at the straight ball. And the batsman tried to play a forward block shot, but it missed the outside edge. So, end of the over, it is none for 54. So we've got a change of the bowling here at the childcare centre end. And it is Russell. And it starts down the leg side. The batsman shifts over to the offside to get his gloves out of the way. Dot ball. And some muttering about what the field should be. Russell into bowl. And ooh, defended there. Now, this is going to be interesting because Russell, I think, is an excellent off-spin bowler. He is not someone to just hit around. And it's aggressive hilly hit and well fielded there by the fielder at mid-wicket, and he chucks it in very quickly, and the batsman luckily gets back into position to stop a run out. So 3 very good balls for Russell, or 2 good balls and 1 average ball. Oh, that's the stuff, that's the stuff. Russell bowls it nice and full, the batsman unsure whether to play it on the offside or the leg side, and it ends squirting as a leading edge onto the offside. Russell into bowl. And ooh, smothers it with his pad. This seems to be an inspirational change of the bowling by David Ramsey. Ooh, again tries to smother it. Excellent over there. A maiden. It's none for 54. Okay, so Stephen Farah is to continue to bowl left arm medium from the river end for his second over. And a full ball, and clamps down on it, and it squirts straight back to the bowler for a top ball. Farah into bowl. And tries to play the block shot, but again hits his mid-drift, and it bounces out to the cover region, and it's fielded there for a dot ball. So once again, the green-capped batsman trying to play a pushish block shot, not judging the length and line right, and getting hit in the body for it. Farah into bowl, and it's late cut, and straight to the fielder at backward point. So, good bowling by Farah. Can he continue it? Farah into bowl, and it's left alone outside the off stump. So, after 14 overs, Riverside were none for 54, which is just less than 4 runs per over. And it's driven, it's a half volley, and it's squirted through the third man region, and they're going to go for the 2. They do. And unable to pick up the throw, a bad throw there. The keeper tried his best. 2 runs there. So going at nearly 4 runs and over just a short while ago were Riverside, and now Diamond Creek are just trying to pin it back. Farah, and it's late cut again, and it's straight to the fielder at cover point for a dot ball. End of the over. It's none for 56. So Russell to continue to bowl from the childcare centre end. Right arm off spin. And whoa! Bit of extra bounce, bit of extra spin, and hits the batsman in the midriff region, maybe his stomach. Unable to deal with the bowling of Russell. Russell into bowl. And it's a wild whoosh, but it's over the head of the fielders on the leg side, and it is 4 runs. Well, that's a shame. I thought that the batsman had misjudged it, but he actually had hit it perfectly well over the head of the fielder, both at mid-wicket and fine leg. So 4 runs there. Russell into bowl. And blocked there by the batsman. So certainly when Russell is able to get the ball to pitch, when it's short of a length or short of a half volley, that's when his spin and bounce can really come into play. Russell into bowl. Oh dear, it's a full toss, and it's attempted to drive it, but the batsman doesn't get enough bat on it, and it goes back to the bowler for a dot ball. Russell into bowl, and it's conservatively blocked. Russell into bowl, and again defended there. The fielder in the covers picks it up. A dot ball, good over for Diamond Creek 2, I believe. It's none for 60. Okay, so the score is none for 60 after 17 overs, and the players are walking off for a much deserved drink. So this is where we're going to take a quick break and bring you a nice photo montage. When we come back after the break, we'll see the resumption of play after the drinks break. You would have to say that it's been an excellent start by Riverside. No wickets down, scoring at 3.5 runs and over. It's been a very good start for them. They should be very pleased with their position they've got themselves into. And so now it's just a matter of them building from this good start to get a really good score. So it's time to take a break. You're watching Channel 8, the local sports network. We'll see you after this break. Enjoy this photo montage.
I spent so long just wondering. For years I was adrift, directionless and wayward, lost like a swallow on a cliff. But slowly I found purpose and my life became more clear. I found my destination, yeah, but now where do I go from here? 'Cause I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I've got a wife, 2 kids, and a picket fence. Everything was hazy, now it's making sense. Alright, I made it, so now what? I paid my dues in factories. I worked until I bled. The suffering made me stronger, so I pushed to get ahead. And now I'm perched above the factory floor, looking down at my friends below. In my comfy car I drive away, but there is nowhere left to go. 'Cause I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I've got a wife, 2 kids, and a picket fence. Everything was hazy, now it's making sense. Alright, I made it, so now what? Told me that when the race is done, the finish line's behind you, and you have lost or you have won. The crowd goes home and you're still standing on that empty track. The lights are out, the crowd is gone, but there's no going back. 'Cause you're already there, you're already everywhere. You're already there, you're already everywhere.